3、4、5、6、7，人这么多啊！这是病房不让我进了，他在往这搬尸体呢。好的，完了，估计不上来了，已经没有声音特征。不上来，教练。
So let me start by saying again that this isn't a tinfoil hat channel. This isn't a conspiracy theory channel. I don't subscribe to that stuff and I don't push it. Having said that, there are a lot of things with this coronavirus that just don't add up. In fact, I talked to somebody last week before this stuff was even posted, and I decided not to go on with it because I couldn't verify it. And there's still some things I can't verify, but what I'm going to talk about here has been verified by a few different sources. So let's go ahead and dive into this. So Tencent, they've been posting about the virus, and they've been posting what the government has been saying. There's been about 304 deaths and about 14,000 people infected. Well, they came out and they posted something that was taken down abruptly that showed there was 154,000 people infected and almost 25,000 deaths. Quite a discrepancy. So one of the more reputable outlets in China had their article on the coronavirus censored, and it claims that there was significant underreporting of both cases and deaths related to the coronavirus, especially among the elderly. So this is a couple instances where the government has stepped in and censored some stuff and stopped it from going public, which to me is cause for concern. So China running out of supplies is reason alone to question the official 8,000 infected number. The main global supplier for such things has already complained that it's running out of basic medical supplies such as masks and gowns, etc., and has called on the international community for aid. There is no way that if it was as small amount of people as they claim, they would already be running out of this stuff, which tells me there's a lot more cases than they are leading us on to believe. The speed of infection, or the RO rate, for the Spanish flu of 1918 that killed 75 million was estimated to be between 1.4 and 2.8, meaning one individual infected around 2 other people. With the current data on the Wuhan coronavirus, the RO number is between 3.6 and 4.0, and that's a figure supported by a nurse who uploaded videos that said there had been over 90,000 people infected, which that RO rate corresponds to that 90,000 a lot more than the 14,000 the government says. You add that into the pictures and videos people taking of people just falling over in the streets because they can't breathe, and they fall over into like a comatose almost, and there are hundreds and hundreds of images of this coming in all over the city. They'll just be walking, having trouble breathing, and all of a sudden they're falling. And this leads me to believe that what the government's saying just doesn't correspond with everything we're seeing and all the other numbers we're seeing. Because every time you turn around, people are recording actual deaths and actual people falling over and really getting the actual scope of this thing. So a U.S. scientist who predicted coronavirus could kill 65 million people 3 months before the outbreak occurred in Wuhan, China. Now this is interesting. So a U.S. scientist is predicting what could happen before the virus even came out. So this isn't a spur of the moment thing. This is something that has been going on, or that there is at least a risk of it going on, and they're still not letting us know exactly how bad it is. But here's some things that kind of help you understand what's going on. So the Wuhan recently developed a deadly pathogen research center to study Ebola and SARS-like viruses. The U.S. bio-experts warned in 2017 a virus could indeed escape the facility. So 3 years ago, they were saying, hey, we don't like where this is located. There's a good chance that a deadly virus could escape the facility. So they started warning us about this about 3 years ago. Now, the scientists at the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security modeled a hypothetical pandemic on a computer. Their simulation predicted the deaths of some 65 million people worldwide in just 18 months. So according to the latest reports coming out of China, the highly contagious disease had killed 41 people and infected 1,300. But experts believe China is hiding the true figures. And so what this is saying is, this is corresponding more to what the U.S. experts said 3 years ago, and China is caught in this trying to get it covered up. There was one study published by The Lancet a few days ago that revealed the strain of the coronavirus brings on a cytokine storm, a phenomenon where your immune system kicks in so hard that your lungs and a lot of the rest of your body is flooded with a surge of activated immune cells. It's also showing that this just doesn't affect the elderly and the very young, that this affects the very healthy. And there's no rhyme and there's no reason that who's going to die. It's just how your immune system helps with it. So some of these numbers is they're just picking a specific demographic and telling you the numbers within that demographic, but they're not reporting on the full scope. So images like this, where people are being quarantined in their own home, is actually showing that China is actually trying to cover up something here. It's showing that they know they made a mistake and they're not letting it known how bad it was. There's videos here of police surrounding entire blocks and quarantining the whole block and only letting people out every couple weeks to go get the necessary things. China also said that they were recommending burning the victims, and insiders say that they are burning up to 100 victims a day. And you've got video of people taking video and pictures of this smog that they can't explain, and they think it's the bodies burning. There is an overwhelming death toll that they're not telling us about. So the economic and social repercussions of a disease that's more infectious and fatal than SARS could be catastrophic, and it's no wonder that the CCP is panicking. The Chinese government is using the stock market right now as a signaling tool. If markets are going up, people are likely to underestimate the severity of the situation. The government is doing all it can to ensure that markets do stay propped up. They've injected $175 billion into their markets. They are stopping people from short selling, and they're keeping people from selling their stakes for 6 months if they own a high stake in these different stocks. Be sure and subscribe to our channel for more content. So again, I just want to be clear. I have no idea if this is a cover-up. I have no idea exactly what's going on. But everything I've seen and everything I've researched and I've told you about, I've checked with 3 different reputable agencies. So it tends to make me believe that a lot of this is true and a lot of this has been covered up. I have no idea if it's going to spread to America, and I have no idea how bad it's going to get. But just panic alone could cause people to do some crazy things. So just be sure you're prepared. Be sure you're ready to handle whatever situation comes. And I'll keep reporting things as I find out and I'm able to verify it. I appreciate your time, guys. Thanks for stopping by. And as always, remember, prepare, survive, and thrive.